I was like, track hoe. Can we say that?
Track hoe, yes.
So I always wanted to.
What's a track hoe?
Track hoe, come on.
Oh,
I'll play. You'll play on
Two words. 2 words.
Listen.
Did you really have to amplify that?
Oh no, I like it. A track hoe. Growing up in Hempstead,
What you about to say about my home?
I work in Hempstead, and I know the beauty of Hempstead.
Now you see the streets.
I see the streets, trust me, and it's definitely Hempstead. As soon as I get off the train.
So I grew up on the Heights.
What are the Heights?
Never mind. It's the part.
What are Hempstead? Wait, there's
Hempstead Heights?
There's Hempstead Gardens.
There's the hill and the Heights. This is the part of Hempstead.
We're learning.
Listen, I'm from Ohio. I'm learning right now. Listen.
For people who don't know, Hempstead, New York, it's about 20 miles outside of New York. But when you think about it, you might as well be it could be 200 miles.
It's messed up.
I mean, it's Long Island. I mean, a lot of people, it's
So in it,
them folks, they missed the exit to Queens.
and missed and then missed the next exit.
Right.
And then missed the next exit.
Like, we're going to have to get off here, y'all.
We'll just build a house out here.
Yeah, we were trying to go to Jamaica, but
oh gosh,
we're in Hempstead.
Wow.
No, but I mean, so how do you what gravitated you toward harp? Did you start singing? Did you sing or something?
No, I mean, I sang in the church choir. I grew up in the church choir like everyone else did, but I can't sing.
Oh.
It's an I, not an A.
It's an I, not an A.
Got it.
So I'm a member of Union Baptist Church, which is in Hempstead on the other side of town.
Oh boy.
So my grandma was part of the Great Migration, and she came up when she was like 17
From where?
A really teeny town in South Carolina that no one's ever heard of called Ridge Spring. And she came up to Hempstead and settled. That sounds weird, settled. But on this street where we all lived, once I was born, many, many years later, I had an aunt and uncle down the street that way, 2 aunts and uncles down the street that way. So it was really a community. I wasn't really going anywhere without someone calling my grandma and saying they saw Brandee walk down the street. It was tightly knit. Mm-hmm. When I turned 10, my parents and sister and I moved to Uniondale. So long story short, there was a woman at my dad's job who played harp as a hobby. Mm. And my parents were like, oh, our daughter's musical. Can we bring her over? She plays flute. So we played little flute and harp duets. And that's how it got into the instrument. She mentioned that if I took lessons, I could probably get a scholarship. And my parents, they only speak that language.
Scholarship?
You only speak that language too. When it comes to kids, all parents, they only speak that language.
I'm looking at the bill right now coming up, yeah.
So they're like, oh, scholarship? Brandee, you want to do this? And I was like, you know what? If that means I don't have to be at swimming at 5 o'clock in the morning, because we were swimming at Hempstead High School on a swim team before school early in the morning in the freezing cold. My sister, my cousin, and I, it was a lot. So I thought I was choosing the easy way out, to be honest. Because we couldn't do both. Too much monies.
Well, playing harp that's
It's another form of monies that you don't really realize until you're in it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's cute in the beginning, but then it's like, oh, you need a bigger harp. Oh, you need a car.
Right.
Right. You got to have a car. Yeah.
Not just a car.
Big one.
A big one.
A large one.
A large one.
I get it. I also play sousaphone, and so when you brought that thing in here, I was like, I get it.
You get it.
I get it. Somebody calls you and they're not thinking about all that stuff. The
like,
first question you're asking,
I'm in my Honda Civic.
Right? It's like not how much does it pay? Blah blah. It's like is there an elevator?
What did I ask you?
Is there an elevator?
When Kenyatta called me for this, I go the building. Is there an elevator?
Straight up. That's it. Wow. So being in Hempstead and like obviously it's a ways away from the city, but you're still in New York. And I feel like, Kenyatta being from New Orleans, I'm from Ohio. It's like subconsciously when you are learning an instrument or whatnot, the place that you are like creeps in. What were the elements? I mean, obviously the church that you were in, that's a whole scene. But like, what were the elements of like, Long Island, but also just New York that was like creeping in?
Well, hip hop.
Of course.
That was the dominant thing in all of our faces.
Yeah.
And we embraced it. So this is like, now I'm going to date myself. We were all born in the 80s, my sister and me, all. My brother was born in the 90s, but we were born in the 80s. I won't say the specific year. So we're all listening to hip hop. We're listening to A Tribe Called Quest.
Right.
We're
Of course.
That's Queens. It's not that far away.
It was happening in New York,
you could
right?
walk there. You could walk to Queens. Just to be clear, for all the New Yorkers that are uppity and the new New Yorkers that are uppity jokes on people for being from Long Island, I'm not ashamed of it because where all our field trips were and our weekend trips. My grandma would bring us out to watch people watch in Harlem. Harlem Week. Remember that? Oh no, you don't remember it because you were in Maryland.
Oh.
You're a DMV kid,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was just a great place to grow up.
It is. Nobody's hating.
I grew up in a suburb of a city.
All
just
good.
like you did.
All good.
Anyway.
As you were.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Hip hop, Queens.
Oh. Yeah.
So that was kind of what you were immersed in.
That was really what I was immersed in. Yeah. And then my parents listened in the oldies, Magga Howard. We used to listen to this and so
Right.
lots of like 70s type stuff. Always. I still listen to that probably more than anything now.
Currently. That's killing.
Like this morning.
Right.
Yeah.
In your music, it's all present. It's like when I'm listening to it, I can hear, Tribe, but you also hear, almost like some like harmonically there's a lot of that kind of 70s R&B, like not just like the Motown thing but like the Philly thing. It's all kind of in there.
Those like 70s, those chords just sound beautiful on harp. And so that's why a lot of what I'm writing, it sounds like that because it just sounds nice on the instrument. Fast chromatic notes sounds like the instrument's breaking a lot of times. Literally, it's like, well, am I learning this to impress somebody?
Yeah, because you got to play like pedals in it.
Yeah, and it's like, but it sounds like I'm falling down a flight of stairs. It's just impressive, but it doesn't speak to me when I listen to it. And so it's like, are we playing music to show we can really play, or music is like something that's bigger than us. It's not about us. We're just little people here.
And it's we were talking about this outside earlier. It's one of those things that as you get wiser, if you get wiser,
hopefully you get wiser.
I'm hoping you get wiser. You realize there's a beauty in simplicity, and not everybody's really good at just breaking stuff down and just giving you exactly what you need. Sometimes it's just way too much, and I'm thinking like maybe part of your following is the fact that you figured out a way to present everything in a very economical way on a harp, and it has its own voice, and it's you, and it's very relatable to a lot of people. And I think at the end of the day, you want to maintain your artistic integrity while maintaining a sense of I can actually relate to what you're doing. And I think that's like you kind of live in a dream at that point. So I could see like how we're really kids of hip hop in the golden age of how things being minimal in a sense kind of just transfer over to what to what we do.
What we're doing, yeah.
Do what you do. So the record.
Oh yeah, the record.
How you feel about it?
I feel good about it. The discomfort. Like he's always like, you don't seem happy, and I'm like, it's not. It's not an unhappiness. It's a little discomfortness because it's prior to this album. I wrote a bunch of music I wrote music on the last album. I wrote all the music on the previous album. But this one's so personal that's what makes it uncomfortable. It's just literally like my diary in music. And in the past, it's just like, whatever, like, yeah, Respect the Destroyer. I'm just writing tunes, you know? So that's what makes this one, it makes this one hit different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. I was listening to it, and
Close to my heart.
so basically, are you saying this record truly reflects, you know, the artistry of Brandee Younger?
Not just the artistry, but like who and where I am in the moment. Know what I mean? Like if you were reading my diary, over the past couple of years, you'd be like, oh, it'd be a New York Times bestseller.
Wow. I'm gonna be 100%.
Okay, that's you really sold that one.
Listen, I'm in.
No!
This morning,
We're gonna see all of the press, and there's gonna be that moment where you do exactly that thing. It's like she dialed it in. She dialed it in. No, for real. I'm not even gonna front. I had to look up the word Gadabout because I was like, I don't know what this means. And I was really curious because it's like an extremely soulful word. Why that word, and how do you feel like the album is that word?
Okay, so it was a word of the day email that came in.
Wow.
And it said Gadabout. And I forwarded it to him like, haha, you're a Gadabout. And then it like actually came up later on, months later. But on the road, it can be tough. It can be really hard. So we're on the road and going from city to city or country to country and just doing things along the way to find some joy. Right. That ultimately became the big rainbow of the album. It's like finding joy even though life can do this. So in the sense of work, it's like, okay, we're tired and we didn't sleep, but let's enjoy this meal here. Let's take a walk here. Just do something to enjoy where we are. But also sometimes life be lifing. So it's just like, okay, I had a rough year. And so I'm writing all this music, but then as it translates to what we're doing, and then it translates to something bigger, just like across the board, this is a relatable thing for everyone. So it's actually not one specific event, but the lesson is find joy along the way.
Yes, no matter what.
Yeah. Along the journey. Maybe journey is a cuter word, right? Journey.
It became like this internal language that we started to use. And so when she wrote, in particular, like when she wrote that tune, right, we'd already been talking about Gadabout this and Gadabout that. Like we'd be tired, you get somewhere, and you get to the hotel, you're like, it's Gadabout season. Let's go and like do something, So
sort of like YOLO.
It became like a new YOLO kind of
a way
situation.
More soulful version of that phrase. I would
and so so when she wrote that tune, especially, it was just like, okay, this is a happy one. It's gonna be called Gadabout season. Like I think about it as like joy as this like healing, this like force for healing. And so for me, I was thinking about that and just like watching this process of the record that like. It was this sort of healing process and injecting like joy into all of that. Yeah, it became this like larger Gadabout like process in terms of making this record.
Especially now, it's really important, I think, that we
right.
You have to do it because personally we all go through highs and lows, but also you look at the world around you and it's like kind of really making it an effort in the same way you do to brush your teeth every morning.
Exactly.
To like go find joy.
It kept the meaning kept getting bigger and
right,
bigger and bigger. Like it ain't about me.
Yeah.
And then it just like expanded into something else.
But it takes effort. Mm-hmm. You have to actually try to find the joy.
somehow found a niche, which I've always thought to be amazing. That it's almost in a sense to where it's not really the harp, it's Brandee.
Yeah. I was like, track hoe. Can we say that?
Track, yes.
So I always wanted to.
What's a track hoe?
Track hoe. Come on.
Oh,
just
track hoe.
I'll play. You'll play on.
Two words. 2 words.
Listen.
Did you really have to amplify that?
Oh no, I like it. A track hoe. Yeah,
So,
okay.
but I just, I'm like, you know what? It can go everywhere. It can go everywhere.
Right.
And Dorothy Ashby she had her own body of work, but then she moved to LA and was literally on everybody and their mama's recording. And I was like, I want to be on everybody and their mama's recording. And it forced me to find a way to make harp fit into, there's this track, Overdose on Life. It's like Drake, Mickey Fax, Travis McCoy. And that was probably the first track that I was like, well, how am I going to fit in here? Right. And but then also learning about effects, that no, I can't use effects. I only have my little delay pedal. But then once you got the producer over there playing with effects, it's like, oh my gosh, this can turn into this. So that opened up my ears even more, because I can play one thing and then we can do this to make it sound different.
It's weird. I've seen you ascend, to, from seeing you at Night of the Cookers with an organ trio.
Yes, Greg Lewis.
And I always thought that was odd. For reference, for everybody who doesn't know, there used to be a place, Fort Greene section of Brooklyn, called Night of the Cookers. And actually, man, when I first got Kiara first moved here,
You called me.
I said, hey, wait, and you were not too far away, and we walked down, and I thought you were just hanging out, and you're there with a harp, and I'm like, wait a second, this loud ass room.
I struggle bus. Story of my life.
I
Harp in a band.
No, but it's a harp with a loud organ player.
Right.
Greg Lewis. And people feed off this energy, and you've always managed to get the harp and make it fit into all these various situations. And that has to be, we're talking about editing notes, that has to be some, how do you present it in all these situations? I mean, how did you find yourself accommodating, yourself, your personality, playing a harp in so many different situations? I
had a really cool teacher who, as long as I did what was assigned to me, she would let me learn other stuff. So I come in with cassettes or CDs from songs on the radio, and she would make me a lead sheet. So I would always play other things that I wanted to for my personal gain or satisfaction. And then also doing concerts. When you're younger, you're doing these community events. My mom's like, can you not play that? And I was like, Mommy, I spent 6 months learning this. And she's like, I know you worked hard on it, but nobody knows it. Can you play something somebody knows? And I'm like, bruh. So she eventually was like, you know what? My parents were like, okay, so if we have to move this harp out the house because it's a lot, we're gonna do 2 songs. So you're gonna do what you're working on and something somebody knows. So she went to Sam Ash and she'd buy me the Stevie Wonder, Ribbon in the Sky, or popish tunes. So I always believed there was a place for harp in other styles of music anyway. So it was in my ear. So I would thrust myself in these other situations. Like Cassie was my first top 40 album, my first top 40 recording that I ever did. That album. It's her only album. Not her first album, but her only album.
You and I?
Me and You.
Me and You. Oh, sorry.
Stevie Wonder.
Right. Exactly.
I caught that.
You brought up anyway.
But yeah, so, I always felt like the harp belonged everywhere. And then remember when This Woman's Work came out? I'm like, yeah, there's proof right there. There's harp all over that Maxwell recording. And
no, but so how do you become first call? Because it seems like you just dominated the market.
Yeah.
Sometimes producers will be like, oh, give me that Ashby vibe. They wanted something to sound like these legendary Pete Rock tracks, where you get this kind of sound. But over time, people like, oh, I want an Alice Coltrane sound. That kind of thing morphs. And then I'm making my own music, which has its sound. It all sort of just turns into this sound.
When did the transition happen from I'm trying to be a track hoe, as you so eloquently put it, to like
Track hoe.
I'm an
I just wanna
artist?
say it again.
Say it one more time. One more time.
Track hoe.
Love it.
It's gonna be on the
Yo,
headline.
wait,
Right.
that should be
Darn
a
God.
song
Listen,
on the next record.
actually,
It'd be like the
actually,
like BBL
Track hoe.
track hoe.
track hoe.
Oh, come
I love it.
on,
The greatest-
yo.
I love it.
Greatest
But-
hits.
but-
Brandee Younger, the greatest hits. BBL track hoe.
Like, was there a transition from like, I'm playing on everybody's stuff and I want to be doing that to I am an artist and I want to create my own stuff, or do you think it was always
Simultaneous.
Got it.
I had my world were like this. I was doing the orchestral stuff because that's what you do when you play the harp. Right? And that's what you're supposed to do. So I was doing what I was supposed to do, doing what I wanted to do. And it really wasn't until I merged all of my worlds together that things really started to kind of click. Because I was so worried about how many people would think. I was keeping my world separate.
Right. Well, what was there something that happened that allowed you to be like, all right, I no longer care about that? Or do you think
It was time.
It was time.
People are always referencing, like, people always say that my career began at Alice Coltrane's funeral.
Wow.
Someone's posted that yesterday. It didn't. And it's funny, we were in Seattle and Ravi's like, I discovered Brandee. Like he literally said that. I was alive before then. I was playing, like, that Cassie album was before then. But that was a pivotal point for me where I started to really just decide to start to embrace all of these parts of myself, musically speaking, and not hide one from these people and one from these people and so forth.
Yes.
How many uptight audiences do you find yourself playing in front of nowadays? Because
Because you know what?
it's a harp.
I'm a harpist. Everyone's uptight.
Well, I'm just stereotyping. Forgive me for stereotyping.
Big time.
Sorry.
A harp is a harp, but I am me.
You go way too far with this. So
Just saying.
No, I'm just saying that you're playing for very educated audiences.
Oftentimes, but sometimes we'll get like.
And I'm going back to BBL here, of course.
So I'm trying to choose my words wisely because my biggest demographic is a 40-year-old white man, like Portland vibes. That's probably like my strongest
25
audience.
to 40, they say.
And
25 to 40?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
and men.
That's the thing. It's the streaming
The streaming demographic.
Like who's listening?
Wait, so how is it 25 to 40-year-old men for harp?
And white men. But
What has your market research shown you?
that.
Really?
But we also find live market research in person.
Okay.
We'll see a lot of like in Orlando, for example, black folks that come out, and some people are like, we didn't know who you were. We saw your photo and we came.
Wow.
Or the first time we played there, like, no one clapping or not being sure when to clap or if they should clap. So you knew they were just like curious. So you get a mixed bag of audience members, which is great because you don't want the same type of audience all the time. The audience, having an older audience is great, but as the audience gets older and older,
And you get older and older. Yeah.
and then no more. So we like the not just the younger folks coming, but the diverse folks coming.
I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna take it the road of, hey, it's we're playing in front of a diverse set of people, and it would make you have to think differently about how you're gonna
deliver to them.
deliver.
Well, I do. I usually don't
that
realize it
happens.
until I'm there.
Right.
Okay.
That's when I assess.
Right.
And I wonder. So I say
think-
this song's untitled, or I'm not telling you the name of this one. I do say that.
I mean, I think like you end up. I think you feel the room out, and you get this sense of like playfulness, like who's playful and who's not. But then, of course, there's certainly like an age situation, age demographic who understands like this term, because sometimes, like she'll say the title of the tune is BBL, and then you get like half of the room laughing or something like that, or some like there's always or there's even like this. I like the
or
late
delayed
response. Like somebody
like,
next to him told him what
Right.
like one person laughed, and then they told the person next to him like what a BBL is, and then a few seconds late you get like this BBL laugh.
Right.
And
wait, hold up. Ooh. Why did you name the song BBL?
Yes. We got to know.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Hold on.
there's layers.
I'm going to give you this answer. You know how when you're recording and you just name file things?
I'm listening.
The title was the abbreviation I had on the top of my charts, because the sketches, I didn't have full words. I wrote BL. And it stood for something else. But in the file naming, Rashaan just put BBL, and I was like, okay, I'll name it later.
When
the file keeps getting sent around,
it's like when you
BBL.
engineer, you control the names,
Right.
So just to like just end up, so to entertain myself, all them songs got weird names and just like internal jokes and stuff like that.
Lots of internal jokes.
And that's
the
the
whole
internal
album
joke.
long.
So that one was like, I was like, I ain't writing BL on here when it could be BBL.
Right.
So I'm like sending around to like the A&R, and they're like, well, we want to hear what y'all doing. I'm like, well, check out BBL. And it just like stuck for so long that it was just like, okay, you just gonna have to call this BBL.
But the thing is, when you listen to it, it's like, it's got that bounce to it.
Thing on it.
It
That
got
is
a little
like-
fire to it.
You know.
You know what I explain to the audience when we do that? Sorry, the Long Island came out.
No.
What I explain to the audience is I think of BBL as a confrontational conversation. Have you ever had a convo with someone where you can't get a word in edgewise and all the talking is happening from the other person? In the liner notes, the little description is a confrontational conversation. That's literally what it is.
I like how when you explain it on stage, you explain it like the other person is the one doing the
And
talking,
not me.
And I'm like, okay,
I gotta make myself look good. But it's there's a lot of notes going on and not a lot of space on purpose. That was intentional. It's like I had to get this out. I gotta say what I gotta say.
I love that. So when you're writing, are most of the compositions kind of coming from a place like that where it's like, okay, thinking of this type of conversation or this type of thing?
This album, absolutely. It's completely like coming all from personal spaces, personal places.
Right.
I guess that's the same thing, right?
Love it.
And just sort of my way of processing life, in this moment, because I was just, I wrote this after we were just on the road nonstop. There was no break. So I had to this was like stop and process life right now.
Yeah. Wow. What is, when I listen to it, I hear a lot of reflectiveness. There's a lot of, it's funky, but also pensive at times. What do you feel like, is happening in life that you really wanted to kind of put out there through the music?
Well, I'm glad that you said all of the above, because if you can receive that, then my point has come across.
There you go.
Because I usually have singers and they got words and yada, yada, yada. But if you can listen to it and feel the feels, and it means that it's relatable.
Right.
Because you know what certain things feel like. Like Unswept Corners, that's like trying to be like a slow jam. Like trying to make it sexy, Breaking Point, that's like anxiety. Like it's uncomfortable, anxious, no bueno. Gadabout, fun. We're having fun. And the premise for the whole album, really, that the takeaway is being a gadabout. Like finding joy along life's journey. How nice is that?
I love that. Boom.
Rashaan and I were talking when he came in, and I was like, man, you guys produce a really great record, because the writing is very simple and it's not overboard. It's not, not a lot of notes. considering that you'll be playing harp, which demand like a lot of notage per se. But listening to the record, I kind of dug it because I'm at a point in my life where I'm really trying to make everything simple, and there is a definite freaking art. Because we're all coming from, hey, we learn how to play a bunch of notes and we got to fill up space. You're coming from bebop to this to that. And now I think that the more that we perform and the older that we get and we're not in front of those audiences anymore, it's one thing to say, hey, you know what? I can do a really slick job in simplifying how I present the music to the way that actually kind of makes you still feel good about it, to where you don't feel like you're dumbing it down. And I'm actually giving a really a really good message. And this is who I am. It's just that, we just kind of simplified things. And I think that's an art all by itself.
It's it's tough to not feel like like I got to do this or I got to make this sound complex, but I honestly for this record I had to keep it real, just really keep it authentic. Like, this is what it is. So it wasn't even an attempt to try to make it musically relatable. But you know how when you're just talking, you can use all the big words to explain what you're saying, or you can just say what you mean.
But it's a time and place for those big words, because you have to figure out, okay, if I'm in front of a class and I'm teaching or something like that, maybe I have to drop one of those words in there. But otherwise, if I'm talking to somebody, I gotta kind of like adjust, the phrasing to to what it is. But I think that you covered a lot sonically in the record, and I think it's something to be proud of.
Yeah, I think we talked, like a lot of times we ended up in the space talking about like honesty. And I know we had this like fun collaborative situation where we really I think we really pushed each other. And I was just like, I want to push you a bit out of the comfort zone, but also, she's like, look, whatever it is it has to feel good to me. Mm. And so I think what really comes across is that there's this level of honesty that we always, it's like the way we kind of checked ourselves and held ourselves accountable was like an accountability to like honesty and feeling good about what, what came out and what it was. So, I'm sure there were instances where some of the tunes maybe got like too complicated or something like that, or we started to push at them and, oh, maybe we could try this, maybe we could try that, or even in terms of talking about like the larger idea of what the record was going to be. And, starting to like toss in these ideas, well, we could do this, we could do that. And what we always came back to was just like this overarching theme of like, I wanted to feel good. Brandee was just like, I wanted to feel good to me, and I wanted to feel like, truly feel like something that she made and not feel too much like pushed outside of like this space of honesty. So I think that's what kind of kept this sense of like honesty and really checking in with, okay, well, what is the record that you really want to make? And continue like checking in with that over the process. Kind of, I think it helped to like craft these kind of things, like whatever the melodies became, the solos, the textural aspects and all that kind of stuff.
I was leaving my office, and an email pops up on my phone.
Oh yeah, you texted me.
I said, "Yo."
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Amazing.
I did. No, I'm getting on the shuttle bus in Hempstead. Trying to go back home, and I'm like, oh, wow, whoa, wow. She won this. Can you?
I won the Doris Duke Artist Award.
I didn't want to kind of steal the spotlight here. So it's you won the award, so it's a major accomplishment.
Yeah, it is. Winning any award is always very like what's the word? You feel good because it's like, wow, I worked my behind off. We all work our behinds off and don't necessarily do it for external approval, but you're doing it. And sometimes you're just on autopilot. You're not looking for approval from others, but when you get it, it's like, oh, okay, that felt really good. So to hear that award was selected not by them, but by a jury of people, whether they're artists, promoters, presenters, that's really what made me warm and fuzzy and mushy inside. That part, like, yes.
Peers.
Peers. It's like,
Peers.
whoa, okay, it doesn't hurt to be nice and to be just a likable human being. Like that's what made me warm and mushy inside when they told me that. No, the gift with the award does not hurt in any kind of way.
Of course.
And that part is super, super humbling because a lot of awards come with a certificate or a trophy.
Well, you know what? That kind of award usually comes at the end, like toward the end of people's careers.
This is specifically for people that are working and mid-career, and this could literally just help them personally to continue to pursue their art. And they tell you do not use the money for projects. They were specific about that. I mean, you could use it for whatever you want, but based on past data, no one that's used it on projects, they've all regretted it. They want you to use it for whatever's going to help your situation, put you in a place that you can continue to do your work at a higher level.
Which makes sense. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
because all the musicians were like, oh, okay, so, and you just start thinking about this project and this project. Yes, immediately. That's all we all go to the same place.
I would be thinking from this aspect. How could I use this to open up some brain space for me to maybe take a quick pause and figure out what's coming up next, and it's not going to hurt me from not having to be on the road, and it gives me at least a small bit of time just to collect myself, think, and ask myself that what I think every smart, functioning artist and musician has to do is, man, what's coming up next? Because I notice a lot of people just run on autopilot. Yeah. So what?
It's like we're like battered because even for example, I had always been applying for residencies or wanting to do residencies, but like the residencies don't pay, so that means I'll have to take off this time. Even though I don't have to pay to do the residency, I'm not getting paid to do it. So that means taking time off work. And we had learned about a residency in Woodstock. And I said, okay, it took all my might. This is before the award, before I knew about it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the residency. It's a month, but I'm nervous because it means taking a month off of work, But something like the award, something like that, we should all be able to do. We should be able to just take a month off to get our lives. I mean, I guess the thing is, it sounds almost bratty saying that because because non-artists, regular people with regular 9-to-5s, don't you think they're saying that?
Well, I think
wait. Built into that work where it's like, I need a vacation just so I can get away from my job and then come back and do it better. And we don't necessarily have that.
Right. It's not only constant. It's like you might book a vacation, but then someone's going to call you for a gig, and you're like, I can't turn that down.
Right.
You know what was interesting? During the pandemic, we found this space, and I remember we talked about this a lot, where we were just like, I remember I got to this place where I was like feeling good about saying no to things
because you knew you couldn't still be alive.
And but it was just like because of the nature of what it was, so many things stopped. You got used to not being able to do certain kind of things, like, oh well, that gig got canceled anyway. Right. So we started to like leave this space to be like, okay, next month I'm going to take 2 weeks to go to this place or do this sort of thing. And I remember we were all just like, wow, this feels so good. I'm never going back to what the thing was. And as soon as they started calling, if you a track hoe, I'm a tour hoe. And so it's just like, as soon as they started calling, I was just like, I was like, yeah, I'll be there.
Right.
I'll be right there.
Right back.
And so, it has been this interesting conversation now to see it in a different kind of way. Like, okay, what are you gonna do? Because it's cool. I had this cool opportunity to like work with her and Casa Overall, who's the other
recipient,
recipient. And so like just seeing like their vibes and like kind of watching them, and almost in a way of like accountability, being like, yo, what are you gonna do? Like you can't just like, don't mess this one up.
You saw that Miles Davis, Money Won't Change Me? You got to watch it. It's Miles Davis. Right. And the thing says
hyperlink.
All right. I can't explain the Miles Davis meme on the podcast, but I'll send it to you.
It's a very Brandee. What do? He like coughs or something? He was like,
I'm gonna send it to you. It'll all make
Excusez-moi.
sense. Excusez-moi.
Was he drinking for something?
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah,
he like
okay, yeah.
okay.
I know you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, but
That's
it's
Brandee.
But right now,
I know.
She said it won't change.
That's the track, ho.
no, but but right now,
Excusez-moi.
no, it's a funny meme. I mean, every time I see it. But this is the time to kind of think about further continuing your ascension. Because you need time to think. I mean, sometimes you know how musicians, you can practice, and I think your brain just hits a wall because you've been practicing, and your brain needs some time to go out and go bowling and go have some fun.
Yeah.
And go
it
out.
needs to go be a Gadabout.
Listen.
Hey, man, Gadabout all up in that. And then, because I'm just looking at it, man, like I'm imagining if I didn't have to go to work, all of the magnificent things that I could do right now.
Bruh.
And the
You have
proof is in
kids?
the pudding. Like, listen, I wasn't going. Why you messing with I was like, I'm gonna let him have his moment.
No, stop.
I'm gonna take that moment from
I'm
him.
not even talking about kids. I'm just talking about
like those 8 hours before,
Right.
like them hours
Right.
before you pick them up. If you just had those, yeah, no, it's.
Oh, that's
But
what I'm saying.
But I think this album process is like proof of that kind of thing. That like I remember the first weekend when you went to your cousin's house upstate.
I wrote it upstate
She
New York.
was basically like, look, I'm gonna have to do a record and I'm gonna have to write some music. And at some point in like this busy schedule, she was just like, I'm gonna go to my cousin's house for like a weekend and write some music. And maybe it was a weekend, maybe it was like 3 or 4 days, something like that. Whatever it was, she came back with like with tunes, with songs and ideas and all this kind of stuff, to the point that me and her manager, we were just like,
Send her
you
back.
need to go back up there.
Send her back.
And yeah, she was like, yo, you got to do this again. And so
he's a creep. What I'm saying.
yeah, no, it's the proof. The proof is absolutely there.
So if you are out there and you love music and you love Gadabout and Trackho, y'all better buy this album.
Don't forget about the BBLs either.
And BBL. No, listen to it, buy it, go see Brandee, all the things. Genuinely, the album is beautiful. And thank you so much for coming and hanging with us.
Thank you so much for having us. It's been great. Thank you for inviting us.
You one of the first people I thought of.
Thank you.
Truly.